Yeah, hold on. I'm going to tell my staff to set it out at least 90 days. She's been there for a week. I could set it for 81 days, but let's just make sure she completes the program. All right. Any objection to that, Mr. Ringstrom?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Champion?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right. So Ms. Hall, make sure you continue
Yes.
with that program. You do not want to leave the program. And then we'll have this set out for sentencing in about 90 days. That will afford you the time to maximize your treatment program. Do you understand, ma'am?
Yes, I do.
All right, thank you very much. We are adjourned.
Thank you.
All right, our next case this afternoon is People of the State of Michigan versus Tanya Lee Brown. File number is 25-3642 FH. Appearances, please.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Attorney Robert Ringstrom, the Assistant Prosecutor for Missaukee County.
All right.
May please score Robert Champion appearing on behalf of Tanya Brown, who is seated to my left, Your Honor.
Thank you. Also before the court this afternoon is Ms. Laura Odell, agent of the Department of Corrections, who has prepared today's pre-sentence investigation report. We are here today for a sentencing in this case after the entrance and acceptance of a plea of guilty back on January 5th of this year. The court has received and reviewed a mitigation report that was submitted by the defense counsel on behalf of the defendant. I want to assure the counsel and the client that I have gone through that. That is prepared by Ryan Heiniger, Heyniger, who is one of the two social workers at that program. Also, we got a copy here of the PSI. Take a quick look. Is she currently serving a sentence?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so what we need to do, Ms. Odell, is on CFJ 145, page 2. It's got a end date for her.
I noticed that earlier, Your Honor. It actually, the last line should be corrected to 94 days with a total of 98.
You said how many?
A total of 98 days.
98. Right now it's at 63, but we got a total of 98.
Yes.
Mr. Champion, is
That
that
was one of my corrections, Your Honor.
okay? Mr. Ringstrom, any objection to that one?
No, Your Honor.
All right, now let me just take a quick look here before I turn it over to you all. I don't see any other corrections that I caught. Now I'll turn it over to Mr. Champion. What you
Your Honor,
got?
I have provided to the prosecutor just supporting documents of her treatment while being incarcerated for court's review.
All right, thank you. All right, these are first item is a certificate of participation in the Catholic Human Services Program, and I see the facilitator, Ms. Platts, also here in the courtroom today. And the court always likes the fact that she comes here and supports the people that have been attending the programs. I appreciate that. I also have a letter from Northern Lakes Community Mental Health here. All right. As well as a list of participation events through Catholic Human Services and their substance use disorder counselor. All right, I've got those. All right, let's go back to the PSI. Any other corrections, Mr. Champion?
No, Your Honor.
How about you, Mr.
No, Your Honor.
Richard? All right, let's go ahead and go with allocution now, Mr. Champion.
Thank you, Your Honor. In meeting with my client discussing the pre-sentence report, what's occurred over the last few months. She understands she needs work. What she told me is that she's been before this court before, in which this court sent her to prison. And the court warned her that she needed to learn and grow, which she has, but she has not completed that growth program. She's now been incarcerated for over 3 months. She saw the recommendation of just jail, no probation. She wants probation. She wants to help. She wants to continue her growth. She wants this court to know she's not the same person you saw before, and that she's not the same person that she was when she entered this plea. She is growing, and she appreciates the time and the ability to grow and work on her issues. It's a very unique request, but we're requesting that the court to consider time served for the period of probation.
Thank you. Mr. Ringstrom?
One of the biggest reasons why Ms. Brown has been incarcerated is because there were some bond violations and things like that. She had also picked up a DWS during the pendency of this case that did get knocked down to allowing another individual to drive. I do see the certificates for the drug counseling, which is good, and I applaud her, but the underlying crime was not due to drugs at this point in time either. So we leave it up to the court to decide what it wants to do in this situation.
All right, thank you. All right. Ms. Brown, you have the right to make a statement if you choose to do so. Is there anything you wish to say?
Your Honor, Mr. Champion took the words right out of my mouth on the majority of that. You have spoke to me and said that I would finish parole hard, and I did. I did do that, and this hasn't been because of drugs, but drugs become an issue again, and I do need the help to ensure that I stay away from that situation, those situations. I'm not the same person that you remanded on during November here to jail. There's been a lot of things that I've come to terms with on my own and with a few of the substance abuse counselors here. And when I walk out of here, this lady sitting in the courtroom is the first phone call I'm making. Her office, I'm getting a home nurse, and I'm going to community mental health. I have some issues that need to be addressed in the right way. And I've done everything. It says I've done probation, I've done counseling, I've done inpatient, I've done outpatient. I've done everything but change my people, places, and things. It's time. Like, I'm going out of here different. Miss Odell, we've spoke closely about me not going back to the home that I own. And I'm not. I want to make huge changes here, leaps and bounds.
All right. Well, let's take a look here. Underneath mental health, there are 5 different listed diagnoses. I don't know if any of them are all that severe. I don't say that to take away their impact, because I don't know what the impact is on you. But I see a lot of empty blanks there. I've got 2 medication, 1 medication listed for both, but I don't see a lot of treatment there. Why is that?
I was not under any doctor's orders before coming in here, as I
Okay.
should have been. Even in prison, I really didn't address any of my mental and I feel like it's my bipolar mostly. That's something that I've learned that needs to be addressed. And me and Miss Catherine have discussed me going and getting a mental evaluation and making sure that we're assessing the correct diagnoses and looking at more current diagnoses. And I plan on being on whatever I guess there's a home nurse that will come in and do a regimen like with me and help me with mental diagnoses and help me with the medications that I need.
Ms. Platts, is that something CHS helps with?
We do have a program where we have a nurse that can work with our clients, yes.
Thank you. For the record, that's Miss Nikki Platts from Catholic Human Services, who works here at the jail in Woonsocket County with those inside the jail. All right, thank you. Yeah, you know, you had the boot camp program. You completed that. You attended several outpatient and inpatient treatment programs. If I remember right, it seems like there wasn't one that I could think of locally that you hadn't done. You do have a fairly significant criminal history. I say fairly, because unfortunately as a judge, I do see a lot of people who have more or twice as many convictions, but for a person your age, you've still got quite a few. Take a look here.
Your Honor, may I state that I will be going back to work for the same person?
Well, I'm glad. It's unfortunately involved in some work. Didn't this take place at a workplace or?
In the same, yes, sir. And I will be like going right back to work at that same Airbnb. And I mean, my boss and a couple other people realized that it was a huge mistake in my behalf on how I handled it. Like it was really not my intentions to keep anything from anyone, but I did not handle it correctly either.
Well, looking here, you got an average of one criminal case per year in the last 15 years. I know there was a dismissal or at least a dismissal of one of those. So obviously I don't count that. You've had multiple probation violations. You've had multiple instances where you were right back in trouble relatively quickly. For instance, entry 2 of 15, you were discharged from probation in January of 2013, but you violated. Well, I'm sorry, then you picked up a new charge about 10 months later. It was a crime of driving license suspended, not the most serious, but I look at those as a crime of somewhat of dishonesty.
And I have been working on getting those back, sorry.
That's okay. Between 3 and 5, you had about a 4-month spell where it was, you didn't have any issues. Then looks like you made it a little over a year, about a year and a half before you picked up another offense. And you had 2 driver licenses suspended back to back. And again, I look at those as issues of dishonesty. Number 7 of 15, looks like you made it 5 months after being let off of probation, but you had a couple probation violations, or at least one in there. But of course, number 8 of 15 is the one that was dismissed, so I skipped that. Then you were on probation for use of methamphetamine out of the district court. You were discharged from that probation due to being supervised in Muskegon County on a felony. Then you had another meth charge. Looks like you had a probation violation as that was terminated unsuccessfully in 2021. Yeah, I'm seeing 3 meth cases back to back. On that last one, it looks like you had some probation violations. You were sent to prison by me, and that's where you did the boot camp program. But again, that's partially a success and partially not successful. Another driver license suspended and another little minor crime of dishonesty in 2022. And then about 2 months after being discharged from parole, In April of 2025, he picked up another, again, driver license suspended, and then shortly thereafter. Hold on. Miss Odell, on page 11, entry 14 of 15. It allegedly occurred, it occurred on August 2nd of 2025. And it looks like she must have been on probation, or no, bond or probation, I'm not certain. You look right above it, case above that, she was arrested on June 17th of 2025, convicted on August 14th, 2025, but that number 14 looks like it occurred while on bond.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thanks. In fact, then she picked up this other file while on bond. So. So I can completely understand the recommendation involving just a straight jail sentence. You haven't done well on bond or probation in the past. What's going to be different now? Why should I put you on probation and take up their time and their services?
Your Honor, I totally understand that.
Yeah.
Just that I've questioned it, that I'm asking for it,
Huh?
and boy, that's right.
All right. Well, here's the sentence of the court. Court will place the defendant upon a period of probation for 24 months. The court will issue a probationary order with terms and conditions that will include cooperating with treatment, testing as directed by your field agent, not to use or possess alcohol controlled substances, including recreational marijuana. The reason why is because where one substance follows, somebody can turn to another substance really to mask instead of addressing whatever mental health issues there are. And clearly the defendant has some mental health issues. They might, depression, bipolar, as we've already talked about. But I don't want her mixing substances with whatever medication she gets. She's to cooperate with mental health counseling as directed by her probation officer. She'll be subject to random testing as well. And then again, the other terms and conditions that I'll assign when presented them by Ms. Odell. All right. She'll have the right to be considered for early release from that probation after 12 months if she's been successful with the terms and conditions. The court assesses a $68 state minimum fee, $130 crime victims' right fund fee, a $300 court cost, a $300 fine, a $300 attorney fee. No DNA fee, as that should have already been available. Supervision fees are $30 a month or $60 a month if there's any need for electronic monitoring. The question, all fines and costs are due payable within 56 days, or a 20% penalty will be added. I'll waive that penalty, however, if you're able to pay it off before you are done with probation, right? So you've got 2 years to pay it off. All right, so now the question is what about a period of confinement, if any? Well, the court wants to continue to get this message through to Ms. Brown. I've given you plenty of opportunities, even after violating bond and violating probation. So I want to give you the chance for rehabilitation. You've already had a lot of it. So I'll tell you, I'm a little concerned. I'm also a little bit doubtful. But I hate saying that because I don't want to be negative. I want to be positive and put a positive spin here on this. One moment. All right. The court sentences the defendant to 150 days with 98 days of credit. That means that she'll have to serve about 27 days. All right. Second.
It was 150 and 98.
Yeah, 150 and with 98 days of credit. find that this sentence is reasonable and proportionate based upon the factors I've already addressed today on the record. And that the fines and costs are appropriate considering the efforts put in here in this case by defense. Ms. Brown, Mr. Champion is handing me a copy of the document. It appears to have your signature. I'm holding it up. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
This document tells you that you have the right to appeal your conviction and sentence in this case. And while that's typically done by filing a claim of right to appeal when someone's been convicted by a trial, based upon the plea in this case, any appeal is done by filing an application for leave to appeal. Now, if you choose to file an application for leave to appeal and you want the court to appoint an attorney to assist you, you may complete the bottom half of this document and return to the court within 42 days. If you choose not to appeal, you may simply dispose of your copy of that document. This sentence is also within the sentencing guidelines, and despite it being an intermediate sanction cell, the court again finds there to be reasonable grounds and cause to issue a jail sentence as part of the sentence. Have I missed anything, Ms. Odell?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Mr. Ringstrom?
No, yeah.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Champion. You know,
No, Your Honor, thank you very much.
all right, now, I'm gonna say this, Ms. Brown, I want you to figure this out. Because quite honestly, kind of at wit's end. So
Yes, sir.
next time, if you come, I can't make a prediction because I don't know what it would be, but I'll tell you, next time you've got a rattle cell in your guidelines here or something, it's gonna take a lot to convince me not to put you in prison.
Yes, sir.
So, and I don't say that to be a threat. I don't even say it to be a promise. But let's just be realistic and call it what it is.
Understandable. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I can't tell the court this, is that my client was prepared for jail or prison in this matter. And her feeling was if that was meant to be, that was what was meant to be.
Well, I'll tell you, if you violate probation and it's a non-technical, I'm not limited. So,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There's something here that in this next 20 days, there's or 30 days, however it is, there's something here that I need to find, and I'm gonna go
Well,
find this, sir.
I hope when I see Miss Platts next time, she comes up and tells me, hey, Judge, Miss Brown is doing what she's supposed to do.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
if she comes up and says, hey, Judge, I haven't seen Miss Brown at all, I'll remember.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next file this afternoon, people of the state of Michigan versus Isaiah Baldwin. This is case number 6-3661 FH.
Your Honor, this matter is set for a plea, and speaking with Mr. Baldwin, just before I came to the court, he had many questions which I was not able to answer at this time, so I'm
Okay.
requesting this to be set.
All right, thank you very much. So we'll go ahead and adjourn that, take it off the record until council informs the court staff when it wishes to be brought back on.